Hello everyone. So this is our third video of the chapter Electoral Politics. In the last video, we just completed the topic regarding the elections, that in what way the seats are reserved for the different people, as well as we just discussed about the voters list. Today we are going to start the topic of the nomination of the candidates. Now the first thing we must know that who are candidates. When we are going to elect someone, so the representatives who are standing in front of us, to whom we are going to cast our vote, are considered as the candidates. And in a democratic elections, this is the only major thing, or you can say that the basic thing which brings the democracy, that there is no restrictions on anyone to contest elections. Suppose if you guys want to stand in an election as in candidates, so you guys can also stand, but you have to fulfill some qualification of the candidates which is compulsory for us. And if we just talk about, if you are going to cast a vote, that is your minimum age is 18 years to cast a vote, so you can also cast a vote, as well as the minimum age to be a candidate is 25 years. At the age of 25 years, you can stand in an election as in candidates. In this situation, every person who wish to stand in an election, they must have a nomination form. In the nomination form, you have to fulfill some basic requirements. That is, first thing, you have to give the security amount, which is known as your security deposit. This thing you have to give to the registrar office, so that you can able to cast a vote as a nomination form. This is a fees of a nomination form. Clear? Apart from this, a candidate has to fulfill some legal formalities. It is some educational qualifications which you have to fulfill, as well as you guys candidate have to show that how much assets and liabilities he or she is having, and if there is any criminal case, so what kind of criminal case is on that particular candidate. So these are the some legal formalities which is to be fulfilled by a particular candidate if he or she is going to stand in an election. This is an educational qualification of a candidate. You can go through with this. In this, an MP's and MLA's qualification is given, that if a particular person just fulfill all these requirements, then he or she can able to stand in a vote as a candidate or as your representatives. Now just come on the next topic is our election campaigns. As you guys know very well that when elections are going to be conducted over there, so in that situation, people start making their own publicity. जो वोट में खड़े हैं, जो इलेक्शंस में खड़े हैं, वो अपनी publicity करना start कर देते हैं. So in this situation, when the representatives are standing there, so they just start making their own publicity. different जगह campaigns लगाएंगे, different जगह demonstrations, speeches conduct करेंगे, so that they can able to inform their policies, that what kind of policies, what kind of facilities they are going to provide the general public if they are just coming, if they just get the maximum seats in the elections. There is somehow legal restrictions on that. That is, when we are just going to conduct an election campaigns, it is only just before the 2 weeks. 2 हफ्तों से पहले वो announcement नहीं होती है, and the final list of the candidates is just declared before 2 weeks, and after that immediately people can able to start their election campaigns. During this election campaigns, they just address the people about their policies, about their schemes which they are going to introduce, and during this period of time, in the newspapers, in the televisions, and everywhere, media used to cover the campaign as well, so that people should become well informed regarding the different things which is going to be offered by the particular political parties. Apart from the election campaigns, some of the slogans are used by the different political parties, like the Congress party used to use a slogan गरीबी हटाओ गरीबी हटाओ, ठीक है, that means the remove poverty. In this way, different parties use their different slogans. This slogan was introduced by the Indira Gandhi in 1971. Next, we are having some of the slogan which was used by the Janata Party was Save Democracy. other was used by the other party is land to the tiller. So in this way we are having the different slogans of the different political parties which was used by them. Like during this time we are have BJP is using अच्छे दिन आएंगे, बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ. So these are the slogans which is used by the particular political parties so that they can able to make their name of their own political parties over there. Is it clear? During the election campaigns they have to follow some rules and regulations, or we can say that the some basically code of conduct they have to follow. These are the these are the code of conduct, such as the first is bribe and threaten of the voters. Candidates are not allowed to give any kind of bribe to the people, as well as candidates cannot able to make an appeal for a vote in the name of कास्ट और रिलीजन कि भाई हम आपकी कास्ट के हैं, आप हमें वोट दो, हम आपको मैक्सिमम फैसिलिटीज़ प्रोवाइड करेंगे. ऑल दीज काइंड ऑफ सिचुएशंस आर नॉट यूज्ड बाय द कैंडिडेट्स ओवर देयर. as well as they are not allowed to use the government expenditure. Apart from that, if they have to spend 25 lakh rupees if they are just conducting elections of the Lok Sabha, and 10 lakh rupees if they are just conducting election of an assembly elections are conducted over there. Clear? So in this way they have to follow such things, that what kind of facilities they can use, what kind of facilities they are not allowed to use. Apart from that, we are having some of other code of conduct, that they cannot use any place of worship for their election campaigns, as well as they are not allowed to use government vehicle. And apart from that, once elections are announced by the ministers, so only on that particular date election is going to be held. There is no delay in the elections of a candidate. Clear? Now the next topic is polling and counting of a vote. अब भाई कैंडिडेट्स नॉमिनेट हो चुके हैं, हमने नॉमिनेशन लिस्ट हमारी बन गई है, वोटर्स लिस्ट हमारी बन गई है, कैंडिडेट्स ने अपने इलेक्शंस के लिए कैंपेन करना स्टार्ट कर दिया है. नाउ द डे हैज़ कम व्हेन वी आर गोइंग टू गिव आवर वोट to the different people, different candidates. So at this stage, this is considered as the final stage. On this day, we are just going to cast our vote to our particular representatives. This day is also known as our election day. Every person whose name is mentioned in our voter list, that particular person used to go into a polling booth. The polling booth they are having near their residence, so they used to go there, and on that particular day in that booth they are having a secret ballot. ठीक है, सीक्रेट बैलेट मीन्स एक अलग से उनका बॉक्स होता है, उस बॉक्स में हमारे पास एक मशीन होती है. ऑन दैट मशीन वी हैव टू जस्ट मार्क, और वी हैव टू गिव आवर फिंगरप्रिंट दैट वी आर गोइंग टू कास्ट आवर वोट ऑन दैट टू दैट पर्टिकुलर कैंडिडेट. In our democratic India, we just tried to make these elections in free and fair manner so that there should be no biasness on that. Earlier, we were using a ballot paper, but now on that ballot paper, people used to give a stamp over there. But now, in spite of ballot paper, our government is using EVM, that means electronic voting machine, so that we can able to cast our vote. We just press a button over there, and with our vote is just sent to the particular candidate. As vote is stored that time. After the polling of elections, we are having the last stage is the counting of votes. On the counting of votes, voting process is done. So these EVMs are logged over there, and it is secured over in a particular place for a few days. When this EVM is opened, during that particular time, only the vote is counted by them. And during this time, the candidates who just secure the highest number, because this thing is done on the you can say that live basis, तभी हमारे पास लाइवली टेलीविजन के थ्रू पता चलता रहता है कि इस पर्टिकुलर पार्टी को इतनी सीट्स मिली. सो इन दिस वे वी आर हैविंग द काउंटिंग इज लाइव ओवर देयर, एंड द पार्टी हु गेट maximum seats are considered as the ruling party over there. Clear? So this is all about the small process of our elections in our India. But now the question arises that how we can able to make elections democratic, or what makes elections democratic in our country. Let us have a look over there. Now, when we just talk about to make an elections democratic in India, earlier we used to have a few things in our mind कि भाई गवर्नमेंट की प्रॉपर्टीज़ का मिसयूज़ हो रहा है, मनी पावर यूज़ कर रहे हैं, मसल पावर यूज़ कर रहे हैं. सो इन दीज सिचुएशंस वी आर हैविंग डिफरेंट प्रॉब्लम्स ओवर देयर. But now, if we talk about the Independent Election Commission, in our country, we are having an election commission who used to look after each and every activity of our elections. It is considered as an independent and very powerful organization because they are going to see that how elections is going to be conducted, what kind of facilities we must have in this way. Clear? Now the next thing is over here, like the Chief Election Commission, CEC. Chief Election Commission is basically appointed by the President of our India, and once he is appointed by the President of India, then he is not going to answerable to the President as well. ये इंडिपेंडेंटली अपना काम करते हुए चलेंगे. यहाँ पर इलेक्शन कमीशन की हमारे पास कुछ स्पेशल पावर्स हैं. लाइक इलेक्शन कमीशन जो है हमारे पास, they can able to take a decision on every aspect. इलेक्शंस कैसे होने हैं, कैसे इलेक्शंस को कंट्रोल करना है, क्या क्या चीज़ें कैसे कैसे अनाउंस होनी है, एवरीथिंग दे कैन एबल टू लुक आफ्टर देयर. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट दे जस्ट इम्प्लीमेंट सम कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट. कुछ रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस बनाई जाती है. इफ़ इन एनी सिचुएशन उन रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस को फॉलो नहीं किया, देन दैट सिचुएशन पर्टिकुलर पर्सन इज पनिशेबल. एंड when we are having the elections, so election commission can order the government to follow the guidelines so that they can able to avoid the misuse of the government powers, as well as they can able to just stop them to use the money or the muscle power over there. On the election day, when election duties were given, so these duties were also given by the election commission only कि कौन कौन कैसे कैसे काम करता हुआ चलेगा. In last 25 years or more than that, we can see that election commission has done a lot of work, and they just start expanding their powers so that they can able to make the elections and they can able to make the polling booth free from the biasness and free from the problems over there. Clear? So this is all about that how we can able to make our elections in a democratic way. Now, if we just want to know that elections are going in a if we just want to check the quality of an elections, then we can just simply check it from the popularity of the participation. If people are participating with full of enthusiasm, then we can say that the elections or the current government is very interesting, and people are playing an important role in that because they are just participating at a higher level. So people's participation is in elections is usually a high level of a thing, and we can say that it just simply shows out the turnout figures, कैसे कैसे हमारे पास काम हो रहा है. एंड टर्नआउट्स basically indicates द परसेंटेज कि भाई कितने वोटर्स हमारे पास एलिजिबल हैं, कितने हमारे पास यहाँ पे वोट दे सकते हैं. ऑल दीज थिंग्स वी कैन एबल टू सी विद द टर्नआउट, एंड मैक्सिमम द टर्नआउट हायर विल बी द पॉपुलर पार्टिसिपेशन ऑफ of the people in the democratic elections. Now the next thing is we are having is, if we just talk about the acceptance of election outcomes. So during these situations, if we talk about the outcomes of the elections, we can say that elections are the final test which is free and fair. And if elections are not free and fair, then the outcomes, that means the result which we are getting will always be in the favor of a powerful person. So let us come on the outcomes of the elections. Basically, the ruling party start losing their elections. If they lose their elections, so in that situation we can say that sorry. If we talk about the election in a free and fair manner, so it is like that ruling party can also able to lose the elections over there, also lose their lose their interest, or you can say that lose their seat in that. If we talk about the USA, in USA, the sitting elected representatives rarely loses the elections. And in that situation, in India, approx half of the MPs and MLAs lose elections because we just change the government, क्योंकि हमारे पास यहाँ पे फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शंस हो रहे हैं. कैंडिडेट जो है बहुत सारा पैसा खर्च कर रहे हैं वोट्स पर, वो भी हमारे पास कई बार चीज़ें सिचुएशंस ख़राब हो जाती हैं, क्रिमिनल कनेक्शन हमारे पास इनसे कंसर्न. सो वी आर द हैविंग फॉलोइंग थिंग्स. बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, during after having a lot of efforts by election commission, it is a great challenge to conduct free and fair election. How? Let us have a look over here. Basically, candidates and parties who are having a lot of money can able to use their money power. ठीक है, वो अपनी मनी पावर यूज़ करके लोगों को बहुत ज़्यादा इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकते हैं by offering them a gifts and all. As well as in some part of a countries, candidates have a criminal connections, तो वो अपनी मसल पावर को यूज़ करके टिकट्स लेने की बात कर सकते हैं. कुछ फैमिलीज ऐसी हैं जो पॉपुलरली, जिनका बहुत ही कह सकते हो पुराने टाइम से लोग इलेक्शंस में खड़े हो रहे हैं, तो वो अपना क्या करते हैं, वो सोचते हैं कि भाई हमारा मोनार्की सिस्टम यहाँ पे आ गया, अगर हम हैं तो हमारा बच्चा भी उसमें आ सकता है. So in that way, they just use this thing as well. Hereditary power they can use. And somehow elections for an ordinary citizen is quite, मतलब अगर कोई ordinary citizen उसे elections में आना है तो somehow it become difficult for them to enter in that. As well as smaller parties and independent candidates also suffer a lot of things because they are not having the good finance, muscle power और popularity. सो ये प्रॉब्लम फेस करनी पड़ जाती है हमें अगर हमें फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शंस कंडक्ट करने हैं. दैट्स ऑल द चैप्टर अबाउट द इलेक्ट्रल पॉलिटिक्स. इफ़ यू गाइज स्टिल हैव एनी डाउट, देन यू गाइज कैन आस्क फ्रॉम मी, बट just go through with the chapter, read each and every line, and if still you guys have any doubt, then you guys can ask from me. Clear? Till then, take care and bye bye. Stay safe.